Let's take a look at Captain America: The Brave New World.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache or lose the election.
Can you understand what he's saying? I mean, what? I mean, am I? It's like it's
Yeah,
Harrison
yeah.
Ford now.
Yeah, I can understand Harrison Ford perfectly still.
Yeah,
Okay.
he said that I had to lose the mustache. I was told to lose the mustache if I want to win the election. Yeah,
Lose
that's
the
what he
mustache or lose the election.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just wondering, is he crossing over to that Sylvester Stallone territory now, or the? I don't know. But let's see.
You and I haven't always agreed in the past, but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what?
And who is this? There, Hunter.
Who?
This woman right here.
So, okay, so she should the rumor she's playing this Israeli superhero. That's the rumor. Apparently, they are
So they didn't
adjusting.
cut her out of the film because at first I
Yeah.
thought they cut her out, and then okay.
So
they put-
so apparently that was part of the reshoots were changing her character for obvious reasons. I don't know that much about her character, to be honest. That is the one blind spot I will just freely admit to. But yeah, so I'm not really sure how they're going to use her. Rumor is that she could be a rumor she could be a like an aide to Thunderbolt Ross. So
Yeah. I think in like something I read about this, that she was a former Black Widow who
yeah, that was it.
ingratiated herself into Ross's cabinet.
Yeah, which I mean, you could actually tie that back kind of easily to the Black Widow movie, given that Black Widow was the one who released all the Shield documents and Winter Soldier. There's a lot of Winter Soldier callbacks in here that I don't think people are talking about nearly enough, which is one of the things that has me so excited about this. But we'll get into that after we finish.
And if Winter Soldier was, to me, still the perfect MCU movie, but a huge part of that was adapting Captain America, giving putting him into a world that has changed, where the warfare is so much more about espionage and secrets. And how do you bring a similar challenge to Sam Wilson now that he's Captain America?
Okay. So this is the character Sabara here, which is an Israeli superhero. That's who supposedly she's playing in the film here. So yeah, you're not too familiar with her character in the comics. You said there. Okay. And Sabara is a slang term for a native-born Israeli Jew, as it says here. Okay. The name refers to the prickly pear cactus, tough on the outside but soft and sweet on the inside.
just like I like my women, but
Little trivia there for people, I guess. Okay. So yeah, let's continue.
Situation. Then what?
And then you have John Carlos Esposito. And who is he right here that we have here?
so he is playing he's playing this former Shield he's a former member of Shield. I'm blanking on the character's name, but he actually has ties with Cable as well from X-Men. So
Okay.
I'll get into my theory on him again once we finish this, but yeah,
It looks like it's a good thing with seeing Esposito, because it looks like he's not just being cast to play Gus Fring for like the millionth time. Instead, he's playing Mike.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so we'll see that. All right, but but I was calling Gus Fring. I mean, John Carlos Esposito there, who was a late addition to the movie, and amongst the people added, and then they did the reshoots there with him. So he's kind of a late addition to the film there, it seems like. This film has been through a lot of reshoots. A
Mhm.
lot of money's been spent on this. I think the reported budget is over what 200 million or 300 million.
Yeah,
I think
I think
I heard
that's
it.
I think that was disclosed. It was like 300 million.
300
Yeah,
million. So
which is wild. But honestly, given, and I think people forget this, like given COVID lockdowns
Mhm.
and everything, this movie, a lot of the MCU shit's been thrown way out of whack because of that. I mean, Hollywood in
Mhm.
general has been thrown out of whack because of it, but really the MCU has been thrown on its head a little bit. But given all the reshoots and everything, I think there's a world where this still easily makes 750 million, which honestly, Captain America films, unfortunately, that's kind of their ceiling. They typically do about 700-ish million. Even Winter Soldier, I think only did like 750, I think, something like that.
let me see. Yeah, you can keep talking. Let me see how much money it made.
Um, but yeah,
Yep,
those films
it was
um
714 million.
boom,
Mhm.
there you go. See, so it's like that's kind of the ceiling on these. I mean, political thrillers are hard to sell
Mhm.
anyway, but at the same time, I don't really care what this makes because Anthony Mackie is going to be Captain America for the foreseeable future, to the dismay of some of you assholes. But Mackie deserves a chance to lead his own film, and I'm happy for him. Like
Mhm.
just off that alone, even if this is just good, like even if this is like a solid tune in, I'll be so happy for him that he gets a chance to, be Captain America during Black History Month, gets to walk the red carpet and do the press circuit because I mean he's been in the MCU for a decade.
Mhm.
He debuted in Winter Soldier, and he's been loyal as fuck to this brand, and he has gone through a lot of shit, to get to holding the shield. So Mackie deserves it, regardless of what you think of Marvel. This is a good moment for him. So.
Okay, let's continue.
Then what happens?
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
Carl Lumley, Isaiah Bradley going Winter Soldier here.
Yep.
It must have got the codes there.
Yeah.
Something set them off.
Which will, yeah, I've got theory on that.
I mean, this trailer couldn't come out at a more apt time.
so-
I mean,
I
mean,
damn. Well, the difference is he's actually president, so that's the key difference there. If you notice though, this is a very cleverly shot trailer because if you notice at the right there, Sam's suit's gray in that
Mhm.
shot, so that's a different scene where he's running down the hallway. Yeah, suit's gray there. When you see him running down the hallway, the suit's brown. So that's clearly a different sequence right here where he jumps
isn't
through.
it?
No, that's
Carl
Isaiah.
Yeah.
That is Isaiah. You're right. Never forget that.
Damn, man, mix up your black people, man. Damn.
Yeah, I know. Shit.
Mix up your black Captain Americas, man. What's going on?
But the thing that's going to be interesting there is how they get into kind of the backstory of more of the Winter Soldier program, but also what the experimentations that they were doing that they touched on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as far as the men of color being experimented on to perfect the super soldier serum. It would totally make sense for them to go ahead and tie in some torture of the Winter Soldier program as well, given that we know that Shield was infected with Hydra agents, going back to the late 50s, early 60s when Shield was founded. So that actually makes a ton of sense. So definitely some stuff to explore there. I think, and you'll see it here later in the trailer, I think that the leader, who's the main villain, who we see a couple times in this,
Really? Okay.
triggers him, and we'll get there. But yeah,
Okay.
we'll come back to this in a second.
Sir, your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to.
Pause right there. Right there.
Hmm.
So that layout right there is almost frame for frame the exact same layout that I'm blanking on his government name. I should know this. Hang on, let me go with but that's almost frame for frame the same layout that Samuel Stearns, there we go, who was in The Incredible Hulk. He's the one who went ahead and gave Bruce Banner the gamma radiation, but that is straight up like the layout that he had for that lab that he was experimenting on Bruce on. So he's clearly the one somewhat behind this, at least. My theory is this is probably where Thunderbolt Ross has been being experimented on, because we know he ends up becoming Red Hulk. So I think there's some sort of bargain between the two of them, but the layout being the same is very feels very intentional. But
okay, very nice. And there you see Joaquin Torres, who people first saw in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. In here,
New Falcon,
New Falcon, the Latino Falcon that we got there, that we see here. So he's going to be the new Falcon in this, and his character's name is Danny Ramirez.
No, the actor is Danny Ramirez.
And the character is
Joaquin Torres.
Joaquin
my
Torres,
bad.
yeah.
He's playing that there.
Yeah, he got in shape too. Like, props to him.
Hey,
like,
he had to do a fucking freaking topless sports scene in Top Gun Maverick. Of course, he got in shape.
Yeah, but he got like even like, I think he looks bigger than he does even in but yeah, like, that's absurd. Like, he is, yeah, man. That's props, man. Props to you.
Good for you.
Yeah, God, that just makes me sad thinking about like how often you'd have to say no to a burger or to like Cold Stone or beer, like all the things that I adore so much. It's like, oh God, but can't argue for the results, man. Props.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. All right, let's get back to this trailer. And then I was talking about this suit. You see the suit that he had in Falcon and Winter Soldier that he got presented with at the end of it. Didn't like the suit personally myself. I thought the suit was pretty bad.
I love the suit. It's comic accurate. The only issue
I disagree. It looks comic accurate. I like the look and feel of it. It looks like a mix of Sam's uniform as the Falcon and paying tribute to Steve Rogers. And I like that in this movie, because you can see that he doesn't have the like little collar that he did at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, they upgraded it.
Yeah, he upgraded it, which, you know, they always do in all of these new MCU movies.
Yeah, Wakanda's got a lot going on, all right? Like, you can excuse the bad collar, all right? The thing's bulletproof. Like,
I mean, kind of bad everything. Bad shoulders, bad padding here.
Bad color scheme. Disagree. Man, I didn't know Dusk was hosting the stream tonight. That's so weird. But yeah, I disagree. I think the suit looks great. I do like the other two suits that they'll show here in a second.
The global power is shifting.
Oh yeah, so that's the leader right there. So that's the key shot right there.
Oh, okay.
So
I was wondering who this was. I thought it was Giancarlo. Okay,
that's him right there. So you notice like they're using the lighting to kind of throw you off, but that is green on the back of his head. So if you Google, I'll ask you to Google real quick. If you just Google the leader Marvel, you'll see what he typically looks like.
Okay.
His head gets bigger than a motherfucker. Like, yeah. So that's what he typically looks like in the comics. So, so to throw it back a little bit. So in 2008's The Incredible Hulk, he went ahead and got his head cut open, and some of Bruce Banner's blood dripped into the open cut, and you see him like smile at the camera, and so they tease that he's going to become the leader. So that was back in the Edward Norton 08 film. So what's interesting about that is that, you know, he has like superhuman intellect, and so he very much is probably going to be like the Zemo of this movie as far as like the person pulling the strings. There's another key thing that we'll get to here in a second. They haven't shown it yet, but yeah. So
okay,
but keep that in mind.
Power is shifting. You're just a pawn.
And that's his voiceover too.
Okay.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
See, now this suit I like a lot better. See, I
Mhm.
like this suit, but I like the color better here.
Yeah, this feels much more like the Falcon, like Sam Wilson's old uniforms as Falcon.
So it feels more. This feels like his Winter Soldier stealth suit. That's definitely what it feels like, which I like, because Captain America typically the costumes do get darker, really often as the themes in the comic run get darker, and so he typically has like a stealth suit per run. That's pretty standard for Captain America. So I love this new suit. Yeah. So yeah, that looks clean. Oh, pause. So you see, this is one of the key moments of the trailer too, because that shot we just saw where Thunderbolt Ross is talking to people in front of the White House. We do know his daughter is coming back. We do know Liv Tyler is back as Betty Ross. Since first time since Incredible Hulk, which is wild that they're bringing her back. I'm wondering if maybe he gets questioned about something here, or maybe he's triggered, or maybe the leader does something, because that shot that you see of the White House being destroyed, you see the red blip. That's Red Hulk. So he clearly hulks out. Something caused him to hulk out in this moment and go ape shit. So because yeah, so you'll see here. But keep going. Yeah, you see the rose, you see the cherry blossom still. So that's clear the same scene. And top right of your screen, you can see the opening
like
of the red blur there. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's clearly him hulking out and losing his shit. So it's gonna be interesting to see what caused that.
Like, I think maybe this is him on the roof right here.
Yeah, exactly. That's him that's causing all that damage. So
okay. Interesting.
yeah, this is why you give me those. This is why you give me that free sub.
Yeah. Okay. Got tired about being asked if he had Parkinson's or not. Okay.
right.
Okay. There we go. All right. Let's continue.
You're right. I'm not.
That shot. Woo!
Okay.
Yeah, that suit is sexy right there. Let's fucking go. That's Red Wing looking clean as a motherfucker. I love the full wingspan. I love the coloration of the wings too.
I do like the coloration of the wing.
There does feel like there's a world where Wakanda just has multiple suits like in a closet, and they're just like, dude, we know you're gonna destroy these. Like what's a movie? So you know they're on it. Which honestly, I'll give away this thing that was gonna be on my MCU wish list. I hope that Wakanda just fits all the people of color in the MCU moving forward. Like Kamala Khan. When they bring in Miles, like just once the X-Men come in, like just Wakanda needs to be their hub. Just make sure they look clean and just keep giving them suits. But that's an incredible shot there of that wingspan there. Love that.
Okay. Yeah. I do like that shot. I think it's a good shot. Then we see him flying here, cutting the plane down with his wings, which I think is nice. Could look a little bit better.
Yeah, with the new Falcon also with him, and it looked like they were flying around Tiamat.
So that was the other thing I was about to bring up
in Eternals.
So that's the key. I think this is going to be basically an arms race trying to get to Tiamat. I think that's going to be the big.
So that's what this is behind them. Is you think that's
hand? Oh no, that's 1,000% what it is, because they showed it earlier in the trailer too. So the theory, and I do remember talking to Nick about this.
Yeah, good old fashioned Lex Luthor land deal.
Yeah, exactly. But the key on that though is that for those of you who remember Eternals, I know it's been a minute. They talk about how that that Celestial had powers. So the theory going on, which would actually make a ton of sense, is that Celestial that's been frozen now is made out of adamantium. Adamantium, of course, is what Wolverine's claws are made out of and what his bones are made of. So I think it's going to end up being similar to Wakanda Forever. It's going to be an arms weight race as far as who can get to adamantium first and who can go ahead and use it for their own, for their own purposes. So probably going to have that component in there as well.
I think a lot of people are excited to hear that because they had this in Eternals, which came out in 2021. So people
when it finally came out. It was like
a couple years, people.
in all these movies and shows, and nobody's talked about this fucking hand in
Yeah,
the middle
yeah.
of it.
2021 is when Eternals came out. But something you got to remember is that Marvel is a studio that is meticulous when it came to like planning the releases of all their movies. It's like this movie is going to come out, it's going to lead into this one and this one and this one, and all that was planned meticulously so that it all, even if you only saw like one of the movies, you could still follow it once you got to like the big crossover, like the Avengers. But with post Endgame, and then all the COVID delays happened, you couldn't really do that anymore.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
movies that were shot already in the can. They, they were delayed to like push to a theatrical release, and projects that were like kind of done but not really had to get delayed, and that pushes back the timeline for everything. And
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll recover for a while unless Marvel is willing to take like 3 years out of theaters off.
So the thing is, like, they're definitely in like the catch up on that front.
Mhm.
But I mean, to be fair, they did reference it in She-Hulk, which I feel like everyone
Mhm.
forgets. But
They did.
they did. Yeah, Jennifer actually brings it up when she's talking to her secretary. But one of the things is that people like, it's like a comic book. It's like I tell our friend Canada all the time. Like, sometimes you have to wait a year or two for, something they reference in Spider-Man issue 1 to come back in X-Men, issue 50. So this is a comic book thing that's been happening for years. So
I mean, it's been 3 years since we saw my boy Shang-Chi, and you don't see
I
me
agree.
complaining about it.
Look, I want his ass back, because I would love to I want actually, can you go? Let me see if I can find the timestamp here real quick. Hang on, because now I'm actually, you can finish up the trailer while I try to find it.
Okay, let's finish this up.
Breaking the sound barrier. Let's fucking go.
And then you see Red Hulk here, which pretty much I think for a lot of people stole the show as far as the trailer there goes. A lot of people are like, oh, Red Hulk is. You see him in the trailer. I mean, people already knew he's probably going to be in the movie, but just you actually, I think it could use a little bit more work. I think effects wise, there.
7 months. 7 months out, people. 7 months out.
7 months out, and literally every single comic book movie is basically being worked on until the last second.
Unfortunately, which needs to change, by the way. If you could go back to the 38-second mark, please. All right, yellow spot there. I think that's a 10 rings location right there that they're pointing out.
Okay.
The fact that that's the one spot that's highlighted on the map is very interesting. So I think we're gonna get. I think the whole power broker call at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think you're gonna see a crossover between Shang-Chi and Captain America. Because you do see the Japanese fighter jets earlier in the trailer as well. So I think you're going to end up getting, even if it's a Shang-Chi like tease or something like that, I think that's going to be referenced. Number one. And then I'll just throw out one other quick thing. So the character of Red Hulk debuted in 2008. Thunderbolt Ross got some of Banner's blood illegally from this group called Intelligentsia, which, if you remember, is the same group who blackmailed She-Hulk in her show. So the potential for a She-Hulk cameo is actually probably a lot stronger than people are recognizing. So they could also be referenced here as well. Oh god, was there anything else? Oh yeah, there's that funeral that they're teasing. Because you do see someone like draped over with the American flag on the casket and everything. If you remember from the end of Secret Invasion, I know we don't want to remember Secret Invasion. We had the dude from Scream, whose name I'm David. You know who I'm talking about, Nick. He was the killer in Scream 5 or one of them, or Scream 6.
Dermot Mulroney.
Thank you.
Yeah. He was the
yeah.
president in that show.
Yeah. So my theory is that the movie probably opens up with a funeral of him getting assassinated. Um, that's my theory, and then that leads to Thunderbolt Ross going ahead and stepping in, becoming president. Because they do establish that President Ritson, I think was his name, was the president at the end of Secret Invasion. So you do have to kind of address that. So I feel like that's what the funeral is probably going to be.
Yeah,
So.
and
Maybe they're
dropped at the end of Secret Invasion and finally delivered on the political espionage paranoia that show wanted to do for 6 episodes, but didn't do it until the last like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't hate Secret Invasion like a lot of people do, but it's disappointing in multiple aspects, is what I will say. But I think that's going to be the funeral that they're teasing there. So
okay. I completely forgot about Secret Invasion. Thanks for reminding
yep.
me.
See, that's why I'm around. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good teases here. So the last other thing I will throw out is I think Esposito's working for the leader. I think in the time between Falcon and the Winter Soldier and obviously Incredible Hulk, that's more than enough time to go ahead and like work behind the scenes, kind of some black market shit, go ahead and influence things. Because I think that's something that's so interesting. It's like with this world where there are gods and aliens and all this shit, you could do some pretty shady shit because everyone's like, oh my god, an Avengers level threat. You could do the more street level.
Yeah, that's why a character like Kingpin, or even on the Spectacular Spider-Man, a character like Tombstone was so dangerous.
Exactly,
because it's like they're fighting super villains, they're fighting gods, aliens, like giant robots that are going to destroy the city. It's like nobody's really looking at what we're doing.
Yeah, so I think you could very easily have the leader like have been at play throughout the MCU, and we weren't aware of it given his intellect. And tying him to the She-Hulk show would also be very easy as well. If you go back, last thing I'll point out, when that picture is taken, because you can tell that's the leader because the hand's green. I think that flash that you see. Hang on, let me see if I can find it.
It's like right when Tim Blake Nelson's narration starts.
Yeah, so it's like the minute 5.
Minute 5. Yep, right there.
So yeah, so you see the green hand right there. My theory there is that camera is what activates the Winter Soldier.
It's what activates Isaiah.
Exactly. Like it's like a jerry-rigged camera there. That goes ahead.
He get out. He doing a get out on Isaiah here. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's his teacup. It's like,
okay. Yeah, there's a lot in this trailer if y'all would actually take the time.
Yeah, that's like one thing. How the fuck is this green motherfucker getting inside the White House?
Maybe people are fans of Wicked, I mean,
you got to think this is after Secret Invasion, so that president basically declared all like freaking aliens as like public enemy number 1, to the dismay of many.
Can the leader? So what is the leader? Is just super intellect, correct?
Super intellect, telekinesis, if memory serves as well.
Telepathy.
He's Dr. Psycho.
Yeah, so they're he's got some stuff, but
powers. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, there you could easily go ahead and kind of like write ways for him to be able to sneak in, but it's gonna be very interesting to see how he works into the fold. But I'll say what I said at the beginning again. I'm really happy for Anthony Mackie. He deserves this chance to star in a big budget film, and I'm really excited to see what this film does. Like MCU is at its best when it does throw some political shit in there, whether you want to admit it or not. Whether they whether it's Miss Marvel talking about like the Moss and stuff like that, or whether it's Wakanda Forever talking about how, oh hey, you don't have a king, let's steal your shit. The MCU is always better when they throw in a little political intrigue in here, and this feels like
it's at its best when it's throwing political intrigue or when they're making films within different genres. I was like,
Yeah.
Winter Soldier. It's a political thriller. Thor is, like supernatural Shakespearean, quote unquote, epic. Iron Man is basically grounded in science fiction. Shang-Chi, martial arts, wuxia, freaking Asian fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. And what this movie is giving me the vibes of is potentially like a Winter Soldier Civil War hybrid, because I think there's a lot of surprises coming for in this movie that we're just not even aware of yet. Because it feels like they're setting up like the like the adamantium thing could easily lead to like an X-Men cameo or something like that. Like the pieces are clearly being, put in place for that next Avengers film. Lastly, I'll say too, it's going to be very interesting to see how we get to Secret Wars from this movie, because Winter Soldier, with the Sokovia Accords, it led to the Sokovia Accords with Black Widow releasing everything, and that kind of set the precedent for the Avengers to break up to lead to Infinity War. So it's going to be interesting to see what consequences happen in this film that leads to the next Avengers film, whatever form that takes. And keep in mind we still have Deadpool and Wolverine that will probably have some major ramifications as well with the TVA. So there's some interesting stuff coming down the pipeline. So yeah, February, I'm excited.
Okay. Yeah, February 14th, 2025 is when this movie is scheduled to be released there. Yeah, I mean, I want to see another trailer of it, more of an official trailer. This is kind of just a teaser, just getting a little bit kind of again, like a teaser supposed to do, interested in seeing maybe the full thing there, teasing a bigger trailer, see a lot more of kind of what's going on in the story, and in the film. So yeah, Captain America, Brave New World there.
Oh yeah, last thing, cherry blossoms and the animandium, that's typically tied to Silver Samurai as well. So there's another potential thing that they could do. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting what ifs, but for a teaser, good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. Let's move on to another MCU thing right here. This is a new Disney Plus miniseries that's going to be coming out. Agatha All Along. Agatha is a spinoff of the WandaVision series there, which was one of the very first Disney Plus series that they did, along with actually Falcon and the Winter Soldier was also one of the first as well. Part of that crop there of like, hey, Disney Plus, they announced the rollout of this new streaming service. And with that rollout, they announced all these Disney Plus shows that they're going to be doing. WandaVision was one of them. WandaVision was a hit, I would say. Where it kind of was. And then a lot of people liked it. A lot of people liked kind of what they kind of did with that. And then you had Catherine Hahn, who played Agatha Harkness in it.
Hi,
and now-
stepmommy. Hi. How are you? How are you? What's up, girl?
who is now getting her own spinoff. So let's check this out. The trailer just dropped for Agatha All Along.
It's so wild too.
Another beautiful day.
Surprised to see you out here, Detective. Jane Doe. Found her down here by the water.
Cause?
Blunt force trauma.
What happened to you? I have a lead in the case. But I can't shake this feeling I'm seeing it wrong.
Is this really how you see yourself?
And like I said, you have Aubrey Plaza. We talked a little bit about this trailer yesterday. Aubrey Plaza is an addition to the cast here. She wasn't in WandaVision, but she's a member here in this show. And I love Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza has been in a lot of great things.
Oh yeah, incredible actress. I think should be multiple Emmy nominee for Parks and Recreation. I think Oscar nominee potential for Ingrid Goes West.
Ingrid Goes West, she's great in that. Emily the Criminal, I hear she's very great in that.
Oh, that movie is awesome.
And fantastic character in Legion. She showed up in that. Very brief appearance. I thought she did great work in that. But yeah, you have Aubrey Plaza here, who has joined the cast.
That witch is gone, leaving you trapped in her distorted spell. Claw your way out.
And this kind of brings up, so if you remember what happened at the end of WandaVision, you learned about the character of Agatha. You learned about kind of what she was doing there in the world of Wanda. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it tries to paint her as the villain, but it seems like Wanda was more the villain. But I don't know.
Oh,
Like I
she
said,
is. Like, well, see, here's the thing,
Yeah,
y'all.
if you go,
Multiple things. Yeah. Go ahead. Go
if you
ahead.
come away with from WandaVision thinking that Wanda was the real hero, no, no,
So, so,
no.
so here's the thing. Yes and no, because like, and again, people like Jedi. This is why you don't deal in absolutes, people, because like often there are shades of gray. So, yes, was the fucking Shield asshole emotionally manipulative like a motherfucker who clearly sent her into a tailspin? Absolutely, and he absolutely deserves all the smoke for that shit. However, Wanda did have people under her fucking hex when they were begging her to let them go. And she went, I'm here and I'm happy. I don't give a shit. So multiple things can be true, people. But
yeah,
yes,
it was two
she's
villains.
definitely,
Two
yeah, she's definitely not the
main.
hero, as it were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she wasn't really the main bad guy. You could
Oh,
say.
no. She's like a secondary villain, but she is a villain, like
Yeah,
anti-hero at best.
yeah. So yeah. So and then you see Wanda, if you remember the end of it, she basically trapped Agatha Harkness in their, witch battle where they threw energy balls at each other, spirit waves or whatever. And
Yeah,
then she trapped her
trapped
in
her
the
inside Westview.
Westview. She left her in the shitty episodes of Criminal Minds, and she has to break out of it here.
Yep. Oh, fate worse than death. Being trapped on NCIS New Jersey.
I miss the glory days.
She took every bit of power I had, but I can beat that witch again. Well, the gang's all here. Let's hit the road.
And then you have the actress from that '70s show.
Yeah, Deborah
Who
Jo
was
Rupp, who's reprising her role.
yes,
Who, to the Sharon Davis, Westview, New Jersey resident who is a witch and member of Harkness's coven.
yeah. So I didn't know her character was supposed to have powers there. I don't think that was ever
Yeah.
shown.
Oh,
Um,
they didn't get, she 100% did not, but they like Deborah Jo Rupp so much that, let's bring her back.
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna walk the witch's road.
Pause,
The road
pause,
is a
pause.
death
Okay.
Okay, so that's the key takeaway right there, is that she's going to walk the witch's row. If you take nothing away from this trailer, that's the main takeaway. So, all right, I'm going to try to make this short, so bear with me. So the witch's row, it's a James Robinson Scarlet Witch run from 2015, I think, through 2017. Under 20 issues, but basically what you find out is that Wanda, while the Soul Stone helped unlock her powers, that Wanda actually comes from a family of witches. You find out that her grandmother was a witch, her mother was a witch, and basically in the comics, fun fact, she was actually experimented on by the high evolutionary from Guardians 3. That's how they did in the comics. This time they'll probably do something with the Soul Stone or something like that, but basically at the end of the Witch's Row, most likely it's going to lead to Wanda coming back, which, by the way, people, I like, if you heard me on the Multiverse of Madness review when I was on here, I told you fuckers she wasn't dead. Like, why are you crying? Like, why did you think a witch was gonna die with some fucking rocks? But
It's comic books. Nobody stays dead.
yeah, like come on. So, but I will say, as someone who's read The Witch's Row, it gets really like very horrorish. So if you're a horror fan, I'd actually recommend checking it out. It's some great fucking art too. But yeah, basically Wanda's going to be most likely resurrected by this coven, and yeah, then we'll get Scarlet Witch back in time for Avengers season.
Okay. So the premise of this show, so it says here, at the end of the miniseries WandaVision, the witch Agatha Harkness was trapped in the town of Westview, New Jersey. And Agatha, all along, she escapes with the help of a goth teen who wishes to face the trials of the legendary Witch's Road. Without her magical powers, Harkness and the teen form a new coven of witches to face the trials. And the goth teen is, I'm presuming, the young guy.
Yep,
There.
Joe Locke, who's playing Billy Kaplan, who that's in the comics, Billy Kaplan is Wiccan.
Mm, okay. All right. A familiar who is a gay teen with a dark sense of humor. Okay.
What is a death wish? Join me. What witch in her right mind would join Agatha Harkness's coven?
Not looking for right-minded witches, as it happens.
Agatha all along. I think this says we're gonna have a 2-episode premiere,
Two
September
episodes,
18th.
Yeah, 2-episode premiere for 8-episode season.
So I mean, to have it, so to have it conclude right around Halloween time is a stroke of genius. So bravo to whoever did that. But this is all going to be about Agatha getting her powers back, and then Scarlet Witch being resurrected. That'll be fun to see. So okay, I hesitate to say this because I know what it's going to lead to, but I would be not a comic book nerd if I didn't bring it up. So the whole resurrection of Scarlet Witch, or her powers being explored, it does tie to Mephisto technically. I know we all got burned once on WandaVision thinking that Mephisto was going to show up. I kind of feel like have to is a little strong, but if I'm guessing, probably something about Mephisto, even if it's not him, like a very direct, like something will probably happen with Mephisto. Like I wouldn't put money on it, but I feel like that's probably gonna happen. Also, I'll just say to you, as a big Florence and the Machine fan, using the song Seven Devils is a stroke of genius. Like, that's a great fucking song. And that's Marvel does nail on their music choices on these trailers. Like, that is one thing they've been very consistently great on. And then, let me see. Was there any, you saw the black neighbor at the beginning who was in WandaVision. That was actually pretty cool to see him brought back.
So this guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, he was one with the fro.
So she still got innocent people trapped in with you? Or what?
So that's kind of the key thing too, is that if you notice, like, it does feel like this is all happening still within the old hex, because they're all still kind of playing out a show, because this definitely gives off, what was that show? Mayor Easttown. It's very much giving off those vibes. So yeah, at this point, I'd say this is probably the premiere episode, because it feels like they're still trapped within the hex that Wanda set up, which is why you see her kind of go nuts with seeing all her old costumes and stuff from WandaVision later on in the trailer. So I think this is kind of her realizing that Wanda is dead after the events of Multiverse of Madness, but that becomes part of the mission, is potentially like bringing her back. So
if she was dead, wouldn't the hex go away?
Yeah, and I think that I think that's going to be I think that might be also where Aubrey Plaza potentially comes in too, is to help her break the hex, because this could be happening during the events of Multiverse of Madness too, because we don't know where it falls in the timeline yet either. So
yeah, that's true. We don't know where it falls. There. It says that, and this is part of the Phase 5 of MCU right here. Agatha all along. So
funny, we're at Phase 5. Jesus Christ! Like this, like we're gonna be at Phase 7 in like 18 months, probably. Like, I'll be real, y'all. I don't even like the fate. Like, I'm excited about Comic-Con for like Well, there's I was talking to Nick about it. There's a rumor Marvel got hacked today, because apparently the rumor is Marvel's going to have an updated like timeline and like release schedule for like all their shit, which would make sense given Comic Cons in like 10 days. But
will
but the
any of
rumor
those
is,
happen? I mean, we're still waiting on Blade.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, but yeah, apparently they were hacked today. So there are rumors that we were supposed to get updates on the next like 5 to 7 years of shit. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what we hear at Comic-Con. Now, I fully admit there's a world where they go, fuck that, let's wait until D23 because Disney would do that shit. But I do think that over the next because I think D23 is like late August, I think, something like that, maybe first week of September. I feel like it's around football season, but regardless, in the next 2 months, we'll have some more clarity as far as like projects and what we're getting moving forward MCU wise. Because I mean, fuck, we still like is Armor Wars still a thing? I'd love an update on that shit. Ironheart's still supposed to come out. Would love an update on that. So I mean, there's several projects that I am like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So, yeah. So hopefully we get some clarity. But I like that the MCU is leaning more into horror shit because like Werewolf by Night was fucking awesome. The jump scare of Dead Vision and WandaVision is still one of my favorite jump scares in the last 5 years. I was mid bong hit and like my partner had to get me water because I was like, I was like dead robot. So I like that they're leaning more into the horror shit. And to Nick's point earlier, getting into different genres and just like trying out the comic book element in these different genres. It keeps things fresh and it keeps things fun. So yeah, this will and Captain Han, man, good for her getting her own show. Who would have thought the woman who would pee in a urinal in Step Brothers would be in the MCU? Like it's funny how life works, but yeah, I'm excited for this too. This should be fun.
Yeah, I talked about that a little bit yesterday. Catherine Hahn, it's great to see her, because she's usually been a supporting actor, mostly in comedy films, mostly things like Anchorman. You've seen her in The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard, which she had a little bit more of a bigger role in that, but that was like an
She's the
ensemble
best
cast.
thing about that. Her and Ving Rhames are the best things about that movie, like by a sizable margin. Like,
even though that movie's mediocre, Bad Moms, I think she's the best thing about it. She's actually makes that movie.
I like Bad Moms, but it's not great. But she's great in it, if that makes sense. Like, it's not a great movie, but she's great in it.
Yeah, she's.
And of course, I think deserved an Oscar nomination for Bad Words.
Bad Words is awesome. And not enough people have seen Bad Words. Jason Bateman probably deserves an Oscar for Bad Words, honestly, because he's a monster.
Oh yeah, that movie. Okay, I remember that movie. Okay,
yeah. Check out Bad Words, people, if you haven't. That is such a great.
Yeah, that was the first time Jason Bateman directed a film.
Oh, okay.
That was a directorial debut, and that movie is awesome.
Yeah. There are very few ways to get to my heart quicker than just someone being a dick to children. Like, I just think that's like that SNL skit where Peyton Manning just throwing the footballs at kids and being like, "Why the fuck are you catching the ball?" It's like, Peyton Manning, I've never liked you more.
The only time I've liked Mark Wahlberg in a movie is when he's like dunking on those kids in Pain and Gain.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, good for Catherine Hahn.
I see your mom looking all up and down the street while I'm walking around. I'll be your stepfather in a week.
And let's be real, he'd say that to a kid too.
100%.
Your camera went off there.
God damn it.
But yeah, so I mean, does it build excitement for a side character that we saw in a Disney Plus miniseries? There is it going to be a waste? I don't know exactly. It doesn't say how many episodes it's getting. I'm assuming
it's going to be 8.
It's 8 or 9. I think it's 9 episodes because let me hit back the Wikipedias.
By the way, check out Mrs. Fletcher. this show that she did that was awesome, and Tiny Beautiful Things, which she did last year. Those are both two really great starring Catherine Hahn vehicles that you should check out.
Okay. All right. So from Wikipedia, Agatha All Along, scheduled to premiere on Disney Plus on September 18, 2024, with its first 2 episodes. The other 7 episodes will be released weekly until November 6th. So, yeah. 9 episodes.
Okay.
Boom, there you go.
So 9 episodes there. I mean,
Hey, Marvel,
I know...
no half-hour finale. No more of that shit, okay? 45 minutes is your floor.
Hey, House of the Dragon gave us an hour and 18-minute episode on, like, episode 4 of this current season. You can do that.
Yeah.
And I know people were, really jazzed about this song, and it was, a hit for a moment, went viral.
I mean,
it was a hit
it's a
for
banger.
a while. Yeah, like that was on iTunes. Like people are paying for this fucking song. like Marvel could give a fuck what you think. This made them money.
Didn't they try to do a Grammy with this, or like that?
I think it got nominated.
It got nominated for a Grammy, and it also got a probably one of the best, like, it was basically remix fodder for a minute.
Mm-hmm. God, he's so fucking fine. God damn. I don't know what it says about me.
I want Catherine Hahn to be mean to me.
Right. I don't know what it says about me when she said I killed the dog. I was like, oh yeah, you killed the dog. You did.
And I killed Sparky too.
Yep. Wouldn't stop me. You said dog
instantly.
You said dog, not cat, right? All right, cool. We're good. I still got my Michael Vick jersey. It's fine. Too soon for a Michael Vick joke? Okay. Fair enough.
So yeah, we'll see. Check it out when it comes out.
I'm intrigued. I mean, I'm a little bit kind of burnt out on Marvel. I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine comes out this month, and you're just kind of like,
you're like,
okay.
Like you kind of have to see it. Like,
if it's good, I'll sing its praises, but I'm not exactly looking forward to it because I liked both Deadpool movies. I liked both of them. I liked Deadpool 1. I love that. It's one of my favorite comic movies ever. And I'm in the camp of people that really like Deadpool 2.
Same.
But with the last couple of years, Ryan Reynolds has become less an actor and just a marketing machine who plays Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds. In everything he's in. And I've gotten really sick of that shtick, especially after Red Notice, because fuck that movie.
So I'm going to mostly agree with Nick on that because I am in the camp of people who like Free Guy. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I like that movie too.
But Red Notice,
but
angers me.
Free Guy is a movie where it's Ryan Reynolds, but he's not playing a stereotypical Ryan Reynolds type. He's playing a character that's a little more naive, and Reynolds is at his best when he gets to play against type. Like look at a movie like The Voices or Buried. Or, Smoking Aces, freaking Definitely Maybe. That's when he's at his best, when he can, play a human being.
Yeah. I actually, quick plug. I actually interviewed the director of Buried. That's on the channel right now. You can check that out. What he said about that movie. But yeah, I agree. Ryan Reynolds, like he's become, let's call it what it is, a brilliant marketing machine. Like he's a brilliant marketing machine. Say what you will about the dude, but the floor for Deadpool and Wolverine, I think, is 700 million easy. It'll probably hit $1 billion, honestly. Which and I think that's going to lead to Wolverine sticking around because I think Hugh Jackman wants that. I think he wants that Hulk fight. I think that's going to be enough of a carrot that Feige can be like, hey man, you want to say no to donuts for another couple of years? So it's like, I think that'll be enough to keep him around. But to Nick's point, he's right. Ryan Reynolds has been playing Deadpool adjacent characters for the last 9 years, and he's really milking that cow like past utterly dry at this point.
He is milking that cow worse than Homelander.
Yeah, so it's
okay, yeah.
So you're not wrong.
Next trailer here. So we got Gladiator 2. And then we're gonna get into best of here. So Gladiator 2, Ridley Scott is coming back 24 years later to the franchise here. And let's see what we got.
I remember that day. I never forgot it.
And how do you all feel about the first Gladiator film?
I think it's a great film.
Okay.
So I haven't watched it in a while.
Okay, I guess
I
I'm
haven't
in
seen it in a
the
minute.
minority. I never was really that big on Gladiator myself. And me and Dust, we were talking about it. And Gladiator, when the time it came out, was huge. I mean, made a lot of money. Oscar-winning film. I believe it won. I think Dust get 5 Oscars when it came out. Best Picture, won Best Actor. It was nominated the same year that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was nominated for Best Picture, as well as Aaron Brockovich, as well as Traffic. Chocolate also there. Chocolat was also there as one of them. I probably would have personally picked Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon out of those choices, me personally. But yeah, so I've never really been that too big of a Gladiator person there. So let's continue with this trailer.
Against an emperor.
Where were you born?
I don't know. I never knew a mother nor a father.
You will be my instrument.
Who are you?
Denzel Washington as Alonzo in Rome.
Hell yeah.
It's a prequel.
The greatest temple Rome ever built.
Okay, all right.
The Colosseum. Because this is what they believe in. Power.
General Acacius, there are victories yet still to come.
What do you think about Ridley Scott in his later years now? Ridley Scott still making movies, 86 years old. What do you think about him currently?
I mean, currently, I think he's a wildly inconsistent director as far as quality goes. Because for every banger that he releases, like especially later in his career, like with for every like The Last Duel, which is a movie I adore, he gives us House of Gucci or Napoleon.
And I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Alien Covenant sucks balls. That movie is fucking terrible. Like, that movie is bad. Outside of Danny McBride, he's like the best thing about that movie. But the way it sets up this like very interesting like religious dynamic, because it feels like it's going to be this giant thing about like about fate and what is, you know, and what is God. I was like, okay, for mixing this in with aliens, that's interesting. And then they just drop it immediately and go, fuck you. And then the whole clone thing with David at the end is just like dumb white people 101. It's like none of you would think that this robot might be tricking her. I don't like Alien Covenant. It's a very frustrating movie to me. But yeah, to Nick's point, he's really inconsistent. Because he'll make something like like Last Duel or like The Martian. God, what is happening? but then he'll do something like Robin Hood, which is such ass. It's like, oh my god, how did you you directed this and thought it was good? Like, so this could be good. It could be shit. I don't really know.
Oh damn! I also forgot he did Exodus: Gods and Kings.
Yeah, and that's kind of when I started hating his ass, because he was like, "Oh, I can't do a $200 million movie with Muhammad so and so." It's like, "Oh wow, fuck you too, dude."
He's not wrong though.
He's not, but it's like, dude, like you could put one, like you don't have to pull Prince of Persia of Jake Gyllenhaal of everyone. Like you can put one person.
You don't have to put Jake Gyllenhaal in brownface.
Yeah, like you can have one brown person in like a co-starring role at worst, but yeah, his filmography over the last decade's been weird, man. Yeah, I know people kind of shit on Prometheus. I actually like Prometheus. I like it more in
Yeah,
Covenant personally.
I like Covenant a little bit more than Prometheus.
I think maybe Prometheus maybe is at least it's trying to do something.
I think Covenant has way too many ideas that it doesn't know how to flesh out. I think that's my biggest issue with it.
Yeah.
But
he's got a sporadic kind of filmography. I mean,
You got Michael Fassbender in that movie dropping a line like with a purely straight face, like "I'll do the fingering."
yeah, I mean, he's just waiting until he gets home. That's why he's saying, that's why he's saying that line. He's like, I get to go. I get to go home to Tomb Raider.
I got Alicia Vikander waiting for me at home. I'm trying to go the fuck out of here.
Right? Yeah. No shame in his game, as it were.
I respect it.
Let's feed them.
They can eat war.
Seems like he is carrying over this good, action style of direction. What he did in Napoleon. So that's good. I think that looks really still.
Arena turned slaves into gladiators, the gladiators into free men.
You have something. I knew it from the start.
Did you now?
Rage. And rage is your gift.
This is about survival! Survive!
Connie Nielsen, if you look at her from first Gladiator to now, it's pretty much she looks almost exactly the same.
She looks great.
She has not aged.
I mean, Connie Nielsen. I mean, over 20 years. Now, if you did that with Russell Crowe, it probably wouldn't be the same. But yeah,
well, it depends on what Russell Crowe you're getting. Are you getting Dark Universe Russell Crowe, or are you getting, Man of Steel Russell Crowe? Because Dark Universe Russell Crowe is great.
Or are you getting unhinged Russell Crowe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you?
that movie?
Unhinged is so good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that movie. Yeah, Road Rage.
Yeah. It's so good. So good.
Just break for the wall.
Well, the LeBron did the same
What
toss.
I give you that would satisfy this fury?
The entire Roman armies.
Too much.
The general will do.
So people have an issue with this song being played in
That'd
the
be
trailer.
me.
I mean, it's the internet in 2024, so having a black male as a prominent lead in a historical-esque type movie, that's like
There you go.
guarantee to outrage a certain corner of the internet.
So it's No Church in the Wild, which is a song from Jay-Z, Kanye West.
Banger song.
Absolutely.
It's off their Watch the Throne album.
Correct.
A collab album. And right now, currently, the trailer on YouTube right now for Gladiator has more dislikes than likes.
Of course it does.
For it.
I think people look. I'm not crazy about the song choice either. I just heard it. I was like, really? But at the same time, like, I had way more of an issue with that last Fear of the Gods trailer using Drake Started from the Bottom, which I was like this is like, yeah. I mean, I know Drake is for the kids, but it's like, come on, using this song. It's a little jarring, but it still has me excited. Because Denzel, being Denzel, like Denzel at like 40% is still better than like 90% of actors. Like, but Denzel feels like he's going to be in his bag in this, so I'm excited.
Yeah, this is Denzel bringing all of that charm and charisma into a Gladiator film. And
It feels like,
and this is a Ridley Scott who does not give a fuck if they have like period accurate or even like regional accurate accents,
languages, accents.
Rome. It's like you throw Denzel in Rome with his like Brooklyn, his New York accent, I'm game.
You know what though? I would rather have that than actors try to do the accents and fail like horribly. Like there's a reason why Scarlett Johansson was like, "Oh, Russian accent, like let's just not." I will say too, shout out to Paul Mescal. I love
Mhm.
that dude. I'm so happy he's having his moment right now.
Mhm.
If you haven't seen
And
all the
yeah, and I like that, Paul Mescal, he, clearly got in shape for this, but he
oh
doesn't
yeah,
look like he's, you know, starving himself. He's like not cutting weight to, look like absolutely shredded on camera. It's like he's clearly yoked. He looks strong, but he looks like full.
yeah. If
Yeah,
you if y'all
he's not going for like Mr. Olympia or like male model. He's going for tough dude at the fucking pub on a Saturday night.
Yeah. If y'all haven't seen All the Strangers and After Sun, add those to the top of your list right now. All the Strangers is on streaming. I think it's on Hulu if memory serves. And After Sun, just be aware that it's soul crushing, so don't be in a good mood when you watch it. It's a kick in the balls, but it's a great movie. I think it was number 4 that year for me. But yeah, I'm really happy for Paul Mescal. Yeah, hell yeah, man. I'm excited for this. I'm honestly
Blockbuster
excited for this.
role for him, getting a lead in a big blockbuster movie, which this is. So, I
Well,
mean,
yeah, I mean, if Ridley Scott calls you, like you're gonna pick up your phone. Like the spot, despite his spotty, filmography recently, he is still really fucking Scott. So, I'm sure he jumped at the fucking chance. Plus, he gets to share scenes with Denzel. Like that alone would be enough to get me to show up to set. So yeah, good for him.
And having a fight scene with Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
And him and Ridley Scott haven't worked together since what, American Gangster, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah,
they haven't worked together since American Gangster, which is a great movie. American Gangster. Love that movie.
I love American Gangster so much. Russell Crowe is also not the hero in that movie, by the way, people. If you want to talk about Wanda, like Russell Crowe sucks in that movie.
So some people had the same reaction as you, Hunter. Some people said with the music kind of threw them off of like where the trailer was going, and then the music kind of came in, kind of threw them off there. Why you putting a modern day song in a movie that's a period piece? Which I mean, Ridley Scott, that already happened in another Ridley Scott movie with the trailer. They did it with Napoleon. Where they played Black Sabbath, they played War Pigs and that.
Yeah, but yeah, it's it's Black Sabbath, white band, and one of these things is not like the others.
It's ironic that a Napoleon movie would be so long in its runtime. I'd like to point out.
Just turned him into a freak.
Because goddamn, that movie is long, so long.
How long is it? Almost 3 hours.
It's like 3 hours. Yeah, I'm not gonna like. That's why I haven't seen it still, because our friend Nathan was like, "Hunter, you should watch it." I was like, "I'm not fucking watching a 3 hour." No, like.
Well, you saw The Flowers Moon, didn't you? You saw that.
I did, but that was actually something I was interested in. I'm not interested in watching about Napoleon. Like, all right, like.
Well, like, the battle scenes are good.
Yeah, Hunter, you want to watch Gone to Win? No, because I value my time. I'm not watching a fucking 5 hour. No, so Plus, everyone I talked to did see it for the most part was like, it's fine. It's like, all right. So
not Killers of the Flower Moon, but yeah, it's fine. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was all right. And it seems like I said, the battle sequences, like he did such a great job with those and Napoleon. It seems like that's carrying over in this movie. And I mean, when people talk about, historical accuracy, you must not know Ridley Scott because he doesn't. You must not know Hollywood movies in general because they don't do historical accuracy. So I don't know why you're looking for that in the second Gladiator movie when the first Gladiator movie is not also historically accurate. But that's just me. But yeah, let's finish this trailer.
I need to only give it a push.
Really make it out alive.
Love it.
All right. Tears on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum doors.
This ring belonged to Maximus. Now I give it to you.
What is the dream of Rome? For people are not free.
I was owned. Now I will control an empire. I will not waste another generation of young men for their vanity.
Strength among us. This our own creature heroes.
Tears on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Coliseum doors.
The gods have spoken!
All right. Besides for Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, you also have Joseph Quinn, who's also in this. Who Joseph Quinn seems like he's coming up. He's gonna be in the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
We just saw him in Quiet Place Day One. Then he's gonna be in
Great
this.
in that too. Yeah.
So yeah, and then you also have Fred Hinschinger, who's also in this as well. I don't think I've seen him.
Yeah, he was the like kind of stoner kid in Fear Street, and he was also in The White Lotus.
Okay. So you also have them over there. And this is coming out in November 22nd for the States, and then November 15th for the UK of this year. $250 million is the budget on this.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the trailer, you can actually. It's a case where you hear the budget on it, and just in the trailer, you can actually see it.
Yeah, like the thing that's going to be interesting is our audiences are going to want to sit through a movie that I'm going to assume is going to be right around the 3-hour mark. Because Ridley Scott doesn't make short films anymore. But yeah, dude, that's a budget.
It's a big ask, but Gladiator was a big hit. People still talk about and love that movie. I think this will probably do fairly well.
Well,
I can easily see this, like, if not being if not getting into the Billy Club, I'd say at least like 600 million, I would say.
His last movie, Ridley Scott, Napoleon, which came out last year, did bombed. It was on a budget of 200 million and made 137 at the box office.
Damn.
So it bombed. So you think that because it is a sequel, it's riding off of the high of the first Gladiator film, it will do much better. It will do maybe at least with a good word of mouth. If this is a good movie, maybe 600 million. 700 million. Coming out during around Oscar time and towards the end of the year, November, maybe we can get something for effects.
It'll get an Oscar. It'll get an Oscar push. Like they will push this for like a Best Picture nominee. Now, will it warrant that? We'll see. But yeah, they'll definitely be pushing Oscar buzz for this too.
So we'll be there. We'll be seeing it. Maybe do a retro review since it's over 20 years old for Gladiator. Maybe do a retro review.
Yeah, and the supporting cast that you don't really see in the trailer, I think is excellent on this. You got people like we mentioned with Fred Heschinger. You got Rory McCann, who's the Hound on Game of Thrones. You also have Meg Halamawi, who played Layla on Moon Knight, who's appearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, look at them that.
Very
yeah,
nice.
I hope it's good. God damn.
Yeah.
Take a fucking lozenge, my guy.
Dude, this cartridge is like this is a Pineapple Express cartridge. It's doing its job.
The Hound and Oberyn remix. Let's do a rematch. I want to see this. Yeah.